Hello everybody, Sergeant Soldier here, and we're back with another Rust Community Showcase, and to be perfectly honest, I dropped the ball. I screwed up. I didn't do a skin video featuring the latest skins that were added, and I think there's like 25 now because I really messed up. Over Thanksgiving, I was busy, I had family in, etc, etc, etc. I had a food coma over the weekend. It was pretty tough. But I didn't do the skins that were added into the game, and I've pretty much always done skin videos featuring skins that were added. So I felt really bad for those people that had their skins added because I almost felt like I wasn't representing them, even though I represented everyone else before. So I want to add all of their skins into this video. This is going to be probably a bit longer of a video. And the one thing that I want to say though is that I'm not going to focus a lot on each individual skin because there's so many of them. And to you guys, the skin creators that are going to be featured, I apologize. I 100% apologize. You guys deserve to have your skins featured as much as possible in a video and have as much screen time as possible. And due to my miscalculation, my misstep, it's only going to be short and simple. But that being said, I'm going to say my favorite thing about each and every skin and hope that I can get this thing under 10 minutes. So starting off right away, we have the Captain's Helmet by Xtab. My favorite thing about this skin, and the picture that I'm choosing right now probably isn't the best one, is that it's pretty messed up. The back of it's got a bullet hole in it, it's got a crack on it, all the paint's all chipped and smudged and cracked. It looks awesome, and I think this is a great addition, and Xtab always does an incredible job with all of his skins. Next up, we have the Racing Stripes Car Bonnet Metal Chest Piece, which I think is a really cool looking chest piece. It's bright yellow, which means you're going to stand out more, and that's of course my favorite thing. But for those of you guys that want to look a little different, this is a good way to do it, and it's a great skin. Next up, we have the Bling Grill face mask, and the favorite thing that I have about this, obviously, is the fact that on the inside of those circles, there's little bits of gold, and they actually look like bling. It's really, really cool. For those of you guys that want something different for your face mask, this is definitely going to be it. With the yellow, it may actually match with the pinstripe chest piece that we just previously saw, but it's completely up to you guys how you want to do it. My favorite thing, the bling. Next, we have the Plate Carrier Black. Now, I've seen this one pop up on a lot of streams, a lot of videos and whatnot. I want it. It's an incredible looking plate carrier. It's very well done, high quality and whatnot. For the metal chest piece, I can see this being probably the most popular because everyone loves black and everyone loves the way this looks because that's the feedback that I've heard. My favorite thing, the whole thing. Great job on this skin. Next, we have the Step Camo Pants, which is basically just brown camo pants, and it's got knee pads. And that's pretty much it. I like the addition of the knee pads to it because it gives it that little tiny detail where it's not just a regular pair of pants anymore. Now there's something special about this, something different. And adding that little bit of a detail actually helps a lot with these skins, so great job. Next, we have the official Vertigo Hoodie, and this hoodie looks awesome. It's basically a leather jacket with a big red V on the back of it, and I like it. It's really, really well done. It makes me sad that my own hoodie wasn't added to the game back when they did hoodies for other streamers and YouTubers, but I can always hope that eventually someone will ask me, hey Sergeant Solj, do you want me to do another hoodie for you? Or Milo Frito will be like, hey Sergeant Solj, I got some free time, you want me to spruce up your hoodie? Maybe we can add it back into the game? And to that I definitely say yes please. But for the Vertigo Hoodie, this is actually really, really cool. I think it's a great skin. Great job. Next we have the Metal Chest Plate Flak Vest Green. Basically this is a digital forest print camo on a chest piece. And I think it looks really good. Personally, I would probably want to see a little bit darker colors in this. I feel like there's a little bit too much of a bright green to it. But all in all, it's still a very good skin. I think it's very well done. Great job. Our next skin are called the Duelist Gloves. Now personally, I use the white leather boxer gloves because they give you a different look than the brown leather. These are definitely replacing that. I love the leather look to them. I love that they got the white, the buckles in the front. They're absolutely amazing gloves. Incredible job. Of course, it's Xtab, so you always expect something great from him. Speaking of Xtab's leather gloves, we have another leather glove skin called the Motorcycle Gloves. Now, if you don't like the black and white look and whatnot, you have these, which gives you a charcoal gray and a bright yellow. And the one thing that I really like about this is the padding over the knuckles. That's a real thing. I had gloves that looked very similar to this on my deployment, except they were Kevlar. They didn't look quite like leather, but they're great. And I think the skin is very well done. Of course, with Xtab, it's always the highest quality. Incredible job. Next, we have the Gunner's Beanie, which is another Xtab skin, and it's basically just a brown beanie with a bunch of bullets on it. It's really simple. You really can't go wrong with it. The one thing I like the most about this is the fact that the bullets look 3D. They're not flat looking. They actually look like they're coming off of the beanie, right? It's a great job on this one. Of course, with Xtab, always an incredible job. Yeah, awesome. Next up, we have the Grey Wolf Hide Poncho. Now, when I first saw this skin, my immediate thought was, some people may not like it because of the fact that the hide poncho isn't used very often. Most people just jump straight to hoodies and whatnot. But personally, my feeling is, because this skin is so well done, and the detail to the fur is well done, which is my favorite thing by the way, we might actually see the hide poncho be used more often, especially if you're just out farming and you don't care if you die. So that being said, this is a great skin, great job. Next up, we have the Road Barrier version 2, which is basically just a concrete barricade that's been painted red and white. That's really all you can say about it. It looks completely different compared to the normal one. The favorite thing that I have for this one though is the blood splattered across the front of it. I think that little detail is what actually brings it into the Rust world, because everything that you basically see in Rust is probably had somebody die on it. And the fact that there's a little bloody handprint on it is also really, really cool. So incredible job on this one. I love it. Next up, we have the Military Camo Roadside Pants. Now this kilt is actually just forest camo that a lot of people love to use. Personally, I try to use it when I'm out and about gathering, because if I dip into a bush or dip around trees, I don't want my bright yellow hoodie or my bright purple hoodie or my bright white pants to stand out. I want to try to blend in more so it's harder to see me. And this kind of stuff makes it easier. If it's going to blend in with your armor, with your clothes and whatnot, because it's all forest camo, it's going to be a lot easier to hide. I love it. Great job. Next up, we have the Temperate MP5 by my good friend Emilio Frito. Now, he did the Temperate AK-47 skin, and everybody absolutely loved it. And it sold pretty well, I would imagine. Now, with this one, with the MP5, it wasn't too surprising because people are starting to use the MP5 quite a bit. Probably my favorite thing for this weapon, besides for the overall colors of the Tempered, is the buttstock. It's got a lot of attention to detail there, to where most people might have covered the entire weapon with the whole tempered look, but Milo knew better. He knew just to do a little bit of it to make that the focal point of the skin, as opposed to just making the entire thing tempered and going, oh, here you go, that's it. Great job, attention to detail, love it. Next, we have the Tempered Face Mask, also by Milo Frito, and the one thing that I love most about this is the positioning of the coloring on it. With the yellow going across the eyes, it really brings you the focal point straight to the eyes of the player. And I think that's a really good point to make, because he could have really done anything with this skin. He could have made the yellow down at the bottom, he could have made the yellow in the center directly, but by focusing on the eyes, it's a great attention to detail as to where not only the skin should be, but how the skin works with the overall piece of equipment. So, as always, Milo Frito, great job. Next up, we have the Battle Worn Long Sleeve T-Shirt. Now, at first glance, this is a relatively simple skin, and it kind of is. It's a long sleeve shirt that's black and white, which are my two favorite colors that I currently use a lot. However, there is a little bit of a detail here that some people might miss, and that is the left sleeve. On the left sleeve, there's a little bit of duct tape going around the elbow. On the back side, though, there's a whole bunch of blood and whatnot with the gauze going over the shirt. That little detail there is actually what kind of draws me into this skin, and it's the one thing that I really like because it makes it look more realistic. Someone's wearing this shirt, they banged up their elbow trying to climb a mountain like a goat, and all of a sudden they got to use duct tape and a piece of gauze to try to cover that up, stop the bleeding. All in all, the skin is very well done. I absolutely love it. Great job. Next up, we have the Laboratory Armor Door. Now, the one thing that I like most about this is obviously the glass viewport that you can see through it. That's the kind of thing you would see in a laboratory door. And it makes it kind of realistic because the way that Rust is going with all of its monuments, this might actually be something you see in a monument one day, or something very similar to this. But for you to be able to take this back to your base and put it up, I think it's really cool because at some point in an apocalypse, you're not going to be building your own doors. You're going to be taking doors off of things that are already existing. So to take a laboratory door that looks like this and put it in your base, it's actually somewhat expected. So great job to John Scissors. Great skin. Love it. Next up, we have the High Voltage Armor Door, and this is a pretty nice skin. The blue color definitely stands out as opposed to the regular door, but it isn't a complete blue. If you look at the bottom there, some of the paint looks like it's worn off or scratched off, and that's to be expected. But the high voltage sticker above the little viewing port on the door, I think it's a really good addition. Great job. Next up, we have the Incarceration Armor Door. Now this is a really cool skin, and my favorite thing is the fact that through that little viewport on the armor door, it's now bars. You can see directly through it. Now that probably is a good thing and a bad thing, because that means this skin will have very limited use. If you're going to be putting an armor door on your loot room, are you going to put an armor door that you can see through? Probably not. But if you're going to have an armor door on, let's say, anyone's base, like you raid a base, you throw a door up, now you can see through that base and you'll be able to say, hey, they fixed whatever they fixed on the inside, or they'll have to take your door down. So I love the skin. It looks very, very well done. The fact that you can see through it is awesome, but I can see it having some pros and cons. Next up, we have the Blue Death Collared Shirt. Now the collared shirt was just added to the game not too long ago, so it's not surprising to see them adding a bunch of skins for it. With this particular skin, my favorite thing is probably the coloring, because it looks like the coloring is kind of faded in certain spots, and definitely the skulls. I think the skulls are very well done. It's the kind of shirt that you would see out and about in the regular world, which is what the Rust world is supposedly derived from, and then all of a sudden the apocalypse hits and someone's still wearing this shirt weeks later. So I love it. It's a great job. Awesome. Next up, we have the red lumberjack flannel shirt, and it's a pretty basic shirt. There isn't much to it. The one thing that I like the most about it, though, is the fact that it's dirty. They added a bunch of dirt to the bottom. There's a dirt smudge on the back, it looks like. It's been through some stuff. You've been in the apocalypse. You've been climbing mountains. You've been chasing dudes down. Your stuff's gonna get dirty. And that kind of detail is one of the things I like most about all the skins. Just like the red lumberjack collared shirt, we now have the green lumberjack collared shirt. It's basically the same thing, just a different color. The thing that I like most about this one, of course, the mud on the bottom, as for the same reason as the red one. So great job on this one. Awesome. Next, we have the Unknown Territory hoodie. Now this is a pretty cool hoodie. I like how they added the camo to the sleeves and the pockets only, and then they left the upper portion looking completely different. And then also the hood on the back is that same camo. On the inside, it looks like the camo as well. That's the kind of stuff that really draws attention to hoodies and whatnot, because as someone that wears hoodies all the time, that's the kind of stuff that I look for when I buy my own hoodies. Something that doesn't look like a solid color and whatnot. It's got these little details everywhere that make it really stand out. So with this skin, awesome job. Next, we have the deuces skull mask. Now this is a face mask that a lot of people are probably going to end up picking up because it looks really cool. Besides the fact that it reminds me of Punisher, which a lot of people love Punisher, my favorite thing about this skin is the cutaways. On the cheeks and down by the jaw and whatnot, on the nose. It's not just the eyes alone that are usually expected of face masks. So that alone, I think it's a really, really well done skin. I might end up buying it for myself. What to see, there's a lot of skins that they just released. And I'm kind of behind the ball, obviously, because I'm just now doing the video, let alone buying the skins. But all in all, I love this face mask. Great job. Next, we have the corroded bronze door, which is another X-Tab skin, and this is really, really well done. This is basically the kind of door that you would see in like a mausoleum or something like that, to where it's either exposed to the elements or it's just really, really, really old. And I think the added green to it really makes it stand out, because that's what a bronze door would look like if it's exposed to the elements. They turn green. So the attention to detail on this, of course, is awesome. All the added flares and whatnot, all the rivets, it's just a completely awesome skin. I love it. Great job. Last but not least, we have the paintbrush semi-auto pistol. Basically, it looks like someone really tried to rush painting this thing and they said, oh, I gotta go outside, I gotta shoot someone. Psh, 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 done, let's go. And it actually looks really cool with the different red and orange and whatnot, all the streaks and the coloring. It's very simple, it's very realistic, I feel like, for the game, but all in all, it's a great skin. So that's pretty much it for this video. I covered a lot of skins, and I feel like I covered them very quickly, but at the same time, I know I definitely went over my 10 minutes. So hopefully this won't happen again. I'll be a little bit more on the ball when they start adding skins. I'll definitely be looking on Thursdays to make sure I do a skin video after they get added after the devlog. But it's when they get added between devlogs where I'm just like, whoa, where'd these skins come from? So to everyone that had a skin featured in this video, I apologize that the featuring of your skin was so short. Hopefully next time we'll be able to do something a little bit better, a little bit longer. Or maybe for those of you guys that are constantly producing skins, I may even end up doing a creator showcase, because I think I'm ready to start bringing that back. So, Sergeant Solge, Rust Community Showcase, and we'll see you in the next showcase video, which will hopefully be a lot sooner than this one, because I can't do a 25 skin video again. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to see more great content from Private Astro or myself, please hit that subscribe button and click on any of the videos above. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next Sergeant Solge or Private Astro video. Bye-bye.